Hey guys, I'm Zelda Williams and I directed Lisa Frankenstein.
I'm Kathryn Newton and I play Lisa.
And I'm Diablo Cody and I wrote the movie Lisa Frankenstein. Well, in terms of inspiration, I grew up in the 80s, so for me, I'm all about 80s movies, and I was really inspired by a lot of the paranormal comedies of the time, like Gremlins and Weird Science and Beetlejuice.
Love.
Yeah, and so I think all of our goal here was to create that kind of nostalgic vibe in this movie.
I'm gonna second that. All of those movies kind of resonate, and they stay with you, I think because they are so weird, right? The movies that are so relatable, you know, that's too boring, right? We want something weird. But I got a lot of influence from Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down, which you told me to watch before filming.
Which is an Almodovar movie from 1989.
Right, and then I also watched She-Devil and with Meryl, which was so good, and Death Becomes Her, and it was great. I also watched The Goonies a lot while we were filming. It just made me happy, and I felt like I wanted this movie to make people happy, right?
And I think it does.
I think it does too.
And from the directing standpoint, one of the movies we haven't brought up that I love so much is American Werewolf in London. There's some scenes in it that are very specific where he's talking to his dead friend.
Yeah.
And even though the friend is quite gory, there's nothing scary about it. It's actually really funny. So I really wanted to try and channel that for this as well.
There's so many scenes. My first instinct is like the moment in Edward Scissorhands where like Edward is walking through the neighborhood. The physicality, I see a lot of Edward and Cole and his portrayal of Creature. I felt like we kind of like paid a lot of homage to that, and it's one of my favorite movies of all time, so I hope that people feel the same way when they watch it.
Well, for me, I think there's definitely a little bit of Lydia Deets from Beetlejuice in Lisa. This idea of being someone who has kind of a wide-eyed curiosity about death and about the occult, while also feeling completely oppressed by her environment.
I keep saying, you remind me of Madeline Kahn and Young Frankenstein. Do you remember Coraline?
Yes?
Okay, so she reminds me of the Beldam a lot, actually.
Oh my gosh.
So there's all these moments that Carla's being quite like cute but evil,
She
and it's
is.
really very similar to The Other Mother for me.
That's a scary movie.
The Other
Very
Mother.
much so.
It's a great film.
Yeah. Well, I just am very excited that Gen Z loves Jennifer's Body because I know that they're going to love Lisa Frankenstein because it kind of exists in the same universe. It's the same kind of tone. There's the same kind of, I think, empowerment moments in this movie that you might have come to love from Jennifer's Body, and also, you know, the comedic violence. It just is nice to know that there's an audience that's ready for a movie like this because that definitely was not the case in 2009.
That was the first horror film I saw.
I love it.
I went to the theater. I was that generation who saw it and was like, oh my gosh, what am I watching? You're lime green jelly and you can't even admit it. It's like, I've been saying that for years, Diablo. It's kind of embarrassing.
I related to Kyle Gallner's character.
yeah.
That's kind of
Just
more
made me
who I
happy, and I
was
felt
in
like-
school. I was the quiet poet kid.
Yeah.
He didn't have a very nice ending, but it was wonderful.
The thing I love about teenagers is they express their emotions authentically, and sometimes that can come off as, you know, hysteria, but it's not. You know, I always think of that quote from The Breakfast Club where Ali Sheedy says, "When you grow up, your heart dies." And even though that's obviously a very dramatic way of stating that, in a way I do think you become numb to your environment in a way, whereas teenagers are still feeling it all. That's why they're such fun characters to write.
And we have a character in this movie who definitely takes up a lot of space.
She's right here.
I do.
Often with her dress.
Yeah, just with the volume of my skirt.
Yeah.
And the hair.
And the
Can't forget the
hair.
hair.
That hair needs its own room.
I think all genres excite me, but I think by nature of them being genre, I'm not sure I'd ever be particularly well suited to just doing stock standard reality. I'm mainly curious about everything that feels like escapism. This movie very much for me, I mean, I'm so grateful that it's my first because it was genuinely both in the creation of it and in what I think we managed to make is escapism. I think we laughed more. Our first gag reel was 3 hours long, so.
What?
Oh yeah.
3 hours?
Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
Some of it was me scaring you. I'm so sorry.
I want to say
You did do that to me. It was really mean. You know how gullible I am.
I'm so sorry. It was because we'd already gotten the shot, so I was like, we got one more take. I'm just gonna scare her.
I was surprised you asked me to do another one. I was like, what did I do?
I think it's a very emo movie that tells audiences that it's okay to feel all the feels.
Yeah, it's okay to be absurd,
Yeah.
take a risk. Eventually you'll find someone who accepts you for who you are.
I've brought this up before, but it made me really happy because I do think sometimes no matter what you embark on trying to put on screen, your audience will tell you what they took from it. And in one of the test screenings, one of the focus group kids kind of raised their hand when they asked what they thought the message of the movie was, and they said that you can be really unhinged and still deserve love. And I went, yes, you win. I'm gonna stand by that forever now.
That's it. That's the message. Ooh, well, Zelda was there every day. Like every fitting I had, she was in the room, we talked it out, and we tried everything, you know? And I feel like I loved the silhouette of the fit and flare, and I feel like it paid homage to old movies and the black and white films. You always saw a girl in a fit and flare dress, and I just like the silhouette of that, like cinematically. And I feel like the more evil my character gets, like the cuter her outfits are. like the more
Fair enough.
adorable she is, the more crazy she becomes.
Go ahead.
You go.
No, this is a very important subject, so we're really
I
excited
love,
about.
first of all, I'm obsessed with her hair, which
Yeah.
The wig.
I miss the big hair
Me
of
too.
the 80s, and I'm so glad that we were able to get that in. Thank you, Zelda, and thank
Yeah.
you for wearing it.
Thank you.
But my favorite outfit is probably the Miss Teen Halloween black,
Velvet.
black velvet,
Which-
it's just complete, it's probably her most over-the-top
Outfit.
look, yeah.
But one of them is your Pabst Blue Ribbon outfit.
That's amazing.
from the dream sequence was
could we
just
skip that?
so fun.
I know.
But also Cole, when he comes out of the grave, which you probably won't see too much of it, but it was such a beautiful, the Victorian waistcoat with this really lovely kind of like slime green vest underneath it, and then we covered it in mud. But
Lots
it
of
was
mud.
really gorgeous, I promise, before we covered it in mud.
That's so
And
funny. You don't even see it. It's just like the shape of it.
you see some of the texture, and I mean, as with all things, Megan's brilliant, and we were so lucky to have the people that we did, and she made this incredible outfit, and they're like, great, now dip him in like Willy Wonka's chocolate river.
Ew. I'd 100% bring back the big hair.
Yeah, I'm waiting for it. It's like the one thing I feel like people haven't re-embraced, and I'm ready.
I'm ready for the big hair. Bring it back. Leg warmers,
I love a shoulder pad too.
shoulder pads, they look good. Let it happen.
I have a lot of men that already do this, but I just think high heels for men should come back
Like,
because that's where it
yeah.
came from.
Yeah.
It was originally for men on horseback, so like if we have to wear them, you guys should too.
Like platforms too, right? Like platform suede boots and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
any of it. The one that we noticed the most was the Richard Marx one, right?
That,
Is it Right Here Waiting?
Yeah, that didn't make it in.
Yeah.
But there was some stuff originally in the script. Like
Yeah.
the Galaxy 500 song "Strange" was definitely in the script.
Love that song.
Thank you. But Zelda really found a lot of great tracks for this movie.
We got Lips Like Sugar in there.
Yep.
Echo and the Bunnyman, one of my favorite songs of all time.
And When in Rome is one of my favorites, so the fact we managed to get that in there, the promise.
The Pixies, I mean, yeah, it's a great soundtrack.
I was like jam in my head the whole time watching this movie at the premiere. It made you want to dance. Lips Like Sugar is my favorite moment because she comes out in her pirate princess costume and she's transformed.
Gosh, for me, I have to say it's that wave of mutilation moment because it's layered over a really emotional, beautiful moment, and I just love it.
I would say
Different.
Smooth Operator.
Okay.
If the youth haven't found it yet, I hope you do. It's a lovely, lovely song.
What about Obsession? You're an obsession.
And
You're an
Emotion,
obsession.
that's a good one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Lost in Your Eyes by Debbie Gibson. Debbie Gibson, pop princess of the 80s. I feel like it's time for people to rediscover her.
Also, Eyes Without a Face.
Oh, that's a great song.
Billy Idol.
Yeah.
Great music video.
I Would Die for You by Prince. I also bring up a lot.
Love.
Ooh, also, especially because everyone is like trying to find more of her music right now. Celine Dion's really early albums when she was in Canada, and they were in French, are lovely love songs.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
I know that's really niche, but they're great. I promise.
I like it. Stevie Nicks, she makes me feel better. I have a Lisa Frankenstein playlist on my Spotify. It's public, you can check it out. But it has all the songs that we just mentioned and a few other ones that kind of feel romantic but still make you want to dance.
I'm not a feel better playlist person. When I'm sad, I kind of want to go all in.
Right.
So I think I brought up that like if I'm really in it, I'll like put on Ethel Cain.
Wow.
Yeah. So
No, I mean,
Or
it's
like
just
Laufey. Is
heavy.
it Laufey? Laufey? I've never heard her say her name out loud, but Laufey? Okay. I'll listen to like atmospheric and beautiful and sad ladies, usually. Or Moses Sumney as well. Love Moses.
I mean, not to be a cliche, but I'll put on the Smiths
Yes.
or Morrissey.
You join me in the Sad Girl Club. Come over
albums.
here.
Yeah. I have been coming to Hot Topic since the entrances had those iron gates.
Oh, yeah.
And this is like a dream come true for me. I love it here. I was born here. I was born in a little manger in Hot Topic.
In
Under
Hot
the
Topic.
Invader Zim sweaters.
Yes. So this is like, this is really a special moment for me.
I'm very easily distracted, so actually this is probably the hardest interview we've had to do, and I'm sure that part of this footage will be me doing this.
Yeah, I keep looking.
I know, I keep looking around.
This is like overstimulation central, but in a really lovely way.
Yeah. I love cosplaying characters and I love anime, so I grew up coming here just to buy like all the jewelry and everything, just like little things like that, and now it's grown so much. I feel like without even trying, kind of dressed up as Lisa today, maybe a little, it's sticking with me, but I like dressing up. Like I love Halloween, so this has always been a stop for me, especially around that time of year, or if I just don't want to be myself.
Chaotic.
Absurd.
Campy.
Romantic.
Gory.
Gory.
No, that was mine. You can't take it.
Oh no, okay, now I have to do another one?
Yeah.
You said goth.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Golly. Did you say romantic?
Golly's a really cute one,
Golly.
though.
No, it is.
Golly.
But I like it.
What did Cole always say? He kept saying twee.
Is that what he said?
He said twee. It's tough. This is a tough question.
I'm just gonna say Janet.
Janet.
Janet is an adjective in this case.
Janet is an
She is an adjective in this case, yeah.
a
Gutsy.
descriptor.
Poignant.
I think
Penis.
that's it. Okay, and that's
You're just free associating.
that wraps up our movie, folks.